Sunday, March 1st, 2026, episode 114. Bani is completely taken aback when she learns that Devraj has arranged a special puja for her and Yuvin, praying that they conceive a child within a year. The announcement leaves her stunned. What is meant to be a blessing feels like pressure weighing heavily on her heart. She feels conflicted, torn between family expectations and her own emotional reality. The idea of publicly participating in a ritual centered around motherhood unsettles her deeply. As she stands alone, she questions whether she should attend the puja or silently rebel against yet another decision made without her consent. Monday, March 2nd, 2026, episode 115. Unable to suppress her emotions any longer, Bani confronts Devraj directly. She demands answers about why such a major decision was taken without asking her. Her voice carries hurt and betrayal. Meanwhile, Manini uncovers the truth behind the tension. Instead of easing the situation, she sees opportunity. With calculated cunning, she manipulates Yuvin emotionally, urging him to use the chaos to his advantage and deepen the cracks forming around him. Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, episode 116. Yuvin watches helplessly as Agastya tends to an unwell Bani with care and concern. The sight breaks him. Jealousy begins to consume him, slowly clouding his judgment. Manini fuels his insecurity, provoking his fragile emotions. Overwhelmed by jealousy and rage, Yuvin makes a horrifying decision. He contemplates killing Agastya. His love turns dark, distorted by manipulation and pain. Wednesday, March 4th, 2026, episode 117. Agastya accuses Yuvin of giving Bani the wrong medication and putting her life at risk. The accusation strikes deeply. Crushed by guilt, Yuvin spirals into self-punishment. Unable to forgive himself for his mistake, he harshly blames himself, believing he is unworthy of Bani's trust and love. Thursday, March 5th, 2026, episode 118. Agastya reveals that Yuvin's condition can be medically treated. There is hope, a possibility of healing. Bani agrees to take Yuvin for proper treatment, determined to help him recover fully. However, guilt continues to haunt Yuvin. Instead of leaning on Bani, he begins emotionally distancing himself, afraid that he may hurt her again. Friday, March 6th, 2026, episode 119. Yuvin is admitted for medical tests under Agastya's supervision. Bani holds on to hope, believing this is the beginning of a new chapter. But subtle signs of memory disturbance begin to appear. Small lapses, strange confusion, they make Bani anxious. The fear that something could go terribly wrong starts creeping into her heart. Saturday, March 7th, 2026, episode 120. As the possibility of surgery looms, Bani is terrified that Yuvin might lose his memories, especially the memories of her. The thought breaks her emotionally. Agastya comforts her, offering reassurance. However, Yuvin witnesses the moment and misinterprets it. His insecurity resurfaces, and he begins behaving strangely, withdrawn and suspicious. Sunday, March 8th, 2026, episode 121. Despite Devraj's strong opposition, Bani firmly defends the decision for Yuvin's surgery. She refuses to let fear stop them from seeking healing. Later, in a vulnerable and reckless moment, a drunk Agastya confesses his love for Bani, right in front of Yuvin. The confession shocks everyone, especially Yuvin, whose fragile emotional state shatters further. Monday, March 9th, 2026, episode 122. Bani feels helpless knowing that surgery might erase Yuvin's memories of their life together. The uncertainty torments her. Sensing his instability, Manini manipulates Yuvin further. She pushes him emotionally to the edge, planting destructive thoughts in his mind and driving him toward a dangerous suicidal mindset. Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, episode 123. When Yuvin is mocked for his fear of firecrackers, Bani stands firmly by his side. She protects him, shielding him from humiliation. Meanwhile, following Manini's plan, Viraj escorts Yuvin away from the stage, separating him at a critical moment and isolating him emotionally. Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, episode 124. Driven by revenge and malice, Manini commits a horrifying act. She pushes Yuvin off a cliff. When Bani later finds a suicide note, her heartbreak turns into burning rage. She confronts Manini fiercely, demanding the truth and justice for what she has done. Thursday, March 12th, 2026, episode 125. Manini confesses her crime. Without wasting a second, Bani rushes desperately to save Yuvin. In front of the Rothodes, Manini reveals her twisted motive. Her manipulations finally come to light, and she is arrested for her wicked actions, bringing temporary relief to the family. Friday, March 13th, 2026, episode 126. As Yuvin undergoes surgery, Bani and Devraj wait anxiously outside the operation theater. Every passing second feels unbearable. After the surgery is completed, an unexpected shock hits. Yuvin mysteriously leaves the hospital without informing anyone. Panic spreads instantly. Saturday, March 14th, 2026, episode 127. Bani finally spots Yuvin at a temple. Hope fills her heart as she approaches him, but her world collapses when Yuvin fails to recognize her. The emptiness in his eyes shatters her completely. The surgery has changed something fundamental. Later, Hemant makes a startling decision, setting the stage for further emotional turmoil. Sunday, March 15th, 2026, episode 128. Despite the heartbreak, Bani refuses to give up. She holds onto her faith in their bond, believing love can restore what memory has erased. Yuvin returns to the Rothor mansion and is warmly welcomed by his family. Everyone hopes for normalcy. Bani notices his kindness toward Viraj and Veer, admiring his gentle nature. However, it becomes increasingly clear that something about him has drastically changed after the surgery. His personality feels unfamiliar, leaving the family confused and unsettled. During Diwali celebrations, Hemant invites prospective brides for Yuvin. In a deliberate attempt to provoke Bani, Yuvin openly flirts with them. The sight ignites jealousy within Bani, and her reaction creates chaos among the invited girls, turning the festive occasion into emotional turmoil.